While watching my kids learning French in the most natural and automatic way, I feel it's a bit unfair that I'm struggling with learning French as an adult. I've done French lessons in school, and I was forced to use the language in my everyday conversation and in serious professional settings. But after so many years of practice, I'm still far from sounding like a native French speaker. So I can't help but wonder, why can't adults learn like kids? Now here are 5 reasons I learned why can't adults learn like kids. Scientists have been debating for years on the critical period hypothesis. It claims that the first few years of our lives are critical for language acquisition. After that time window, it becomes much more difficult to learn a new language. In recent years, Dr. Patricia Kuhl's work has played a major role in demonstrating how early exposure to language alters the brain. She stated that language has a critical period for learning. Babies and children are geniuses until they turn 7, and then there's a systematic decline. So apparently, according to this graph, being at the far right end of the age group, I'm no longer a genius at acquiring new languages. People generally think that children learn a new language much faster than adults. Not true. Babies and children have all the time they need to learn one native language, and they also have various exposure from their families, schools, and the communities to learn one language well. They're practically living in the language 24/7 for the first few years of their lives. Whereas we adults have other work to do, family and social commitment. Unless we're rich or unemployed, we don't have the luxury time of immersing in one new language all day long for several years. Kids are self-centric. They don't care what other people think. They say whatever is on their mind, and they're also not afraid of making mistakes. And if they do, their parents and teachers are always there to help correct them. Whereas we adults have various impediments when it comes to speaking. Some of us are introverted, and we generally fear speaking in public, no matter in what language. And we're also afraid of making mistakes, being judged, or simply sound stupid or impolite. So it's even worse when it comes to speaking in an unfamiliar language. Kids don't have a choice but to learn the community language in order to survive. But for us grown-ups, we do have a choice. We can give up any time. I can simply conclude that I suck at learning foreign languages, so I quit. As an adult, we've already developed analytical and cognitive skills that kids don't have, which serve as our advantages in learning a new language. We can intentionally focus in on what's important and useful to us. We can try different learning methods. And with constant effort and practice, we can at least develop a small vocabulary of our own, try to construct some sentences, and make ourselves understood. Even though after a few years, we still have an accent and we don't sound like a native, but how much does that matter? And most importantly, language is a skill. Like any other skills, they only stay sharpened by continuous practice.
On prépare le repas tous ensemble. Il y a tout plein de sortes de choses à manger, plus de 10 plats.
Oui.
Mais en ce moment, les familles ils préfèrent aller au restaurant.
D'accord.
Ils réservent pour toute la famille 2 à 3 tables. Comme ça, c'est plus simple.
Wow.
Parce
Oui.
que